Welcome back to Fairy Tales World. Today, we are sharing the timeless and magical story of Cinderella. This special video was requested by @KongShaokai_C4 and @AlexisClinton717. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there lived a young girl who was as good as gold.
Hello, little one.
She was kind to everyone, and she had a gentle smile that could light up a room. But sadly, her life was not easy. After her father passed away, the girl was left alone with her stepmother and two stepsisters. Now, you might think a family helps each other, but this family was different. The stepmother was very mean and proud. She only loved her own two daughters, and those daughters were just as selfish and cruel as their mother. They were jealous of the young girl because she was beautiful and sweet, while they were grumpy and rude. So they made her do all the hard work in the house. From the moment the sun came up until the moon was high in the sky, the poor girl scrubbed the floors, she washed the dishes, she made the beds. At night, while her sisters slept in big, soft beds with fluffy pillows, the girl had to sleep in the cold attic on an old straw mattress. When she was cold, she would sit by the fireplace, close to the ashes and cinders to keep warm. Because she was often covered in dust and ash, her sisters gave her a mean nickname.
Oh, look at her! She is covered in cinders! Let's call her Cinderella!
And so everyone called her Cinderella. But even in her old, dusty clothes, Cinderella was still 100 times more beautiful than her mean sisters, because true beauty shines from the heart. One day, something exciting happened. A messenger from the king arrived at the door. The king was throwing a huge party, a royal ball.
The king is throwing a royal ball. The prince is looking for a wife. Every young lady in the kingdom is invited.
The king's son, the handsome prince, was looking for a wife. When the stepsisters heard the news, they screamed with joy.
I will wear my red velvet dress! And I will wear my gold dress with the diamond necklace!
The house became very busy. The sisters ran around trying on clothes and looking in the mirror. Poor Cinderella had to work harder than ever. She ironed their dresses and fixed their hair.
Cinderella, wouldn't you like to go to the ball?
Cinderella looked down sadly.
Please don't tease me. You know I cannot go. I have no dress, and I am just a servant girl.
That is right! People would laugh if they saw a girl covered in ashes at a royal ball!
Finally, the night of the ball arrived. The sisters hopped into their fancy carriage. They didn't even say goodbye to Cinderella. They just rode away, laughing. Cinderella watched the carriage disappear into the darkness. She felt all alone. She ran into the garden, sat on a stone bench, and began to cry. Her tears fell onto her old, torn apron. She had never felt so sad in her whole life. But then, something wonderful happened. A soft golden light appeared in the garden. It grew brighter and brighter until a kind woman appeared. She held a wand with a shining star on the tip. It was Cinderella's Fairy Godmother.
My dear child, why are you crying?
I wish I could go to the ball.
The Fairy Godmother
And so
smiled.
you shall. But first, you must help me.
Go into the garden and bring me a pumpkin.
Cinderella wiped her tears and found the biggest, roundest orange pumpkin in the garden. The fairy godmother tapped it with her wand. Bibbidi-bobbidi-boo! Instantly, the pumpkin turned into a beautiful golden carriage. It shined like the sun.
Now, bring me the mousetrap.
Inside were 6 little mice. One by one, the fairy tapped them. The mice turned into strong gray horses. Next, she saw a big rat with long whiskers. He turned into a jolly coachman with a big mustache to drive the carriage. Finally, 6 little lizards from the garden were turned into footmen to open the doors. Cinderella clapped her hands.
It's wonderful!
Then she looked down at her dirty, ragged
But I
dress.
cannot go in these clothes.
The fairy godmother laughed softly. She waved her wand over Cinderella. Sparkly magic dust swirled around the girl. The old rags disappeared. In their place was a stunning gown made of silver and gold silk. It sparkled with tiny jewels, and on her feet she wore the most special shoes in the world, slippers made of pure, clear glass.
Now, listen to me. The magic only lasts until midnight. When the clock strikes 12, everything will turn back to normal. You must leave the ball before the last bell rings.
"I promise," said Cinderella. She stepped into the carriage and waved goodbye, her heart full of joy. At the palace, the ball had already started. Suddenly, the music stopped. The room went quiet. The prince looked at the door. Cinderella walked in. She looked so beautiful that everyone stopped talking.
Who is she? Who is she? She looks like a princess from a faraway land.
Prince walked straight to her. He took her hand and led her to the dance floor.
May I have this dance?
Yes, Your Highness.
As the music played, they danced and danced. Cinderella felt like she was floating on a cloud. The prince could not take his eyes off her. He had never met anyone so lovely and kind. Cinderella was having such a wonderful time that she forgot about everything else. She even saw her sister siblings. She went over and shared some delicious oranges with them. They were so surprised that this fancy princess was being nice to them. They didn't recognize Cinderella at all. Time flew by. Cinderella was so happy she forgot to look at the clock. Suddenly, she heard a loud sound. It was the first stroke of midnight. Cinderella gasped.
No! No! I must go!
Wait! Wait! I don't even know your name!
Cinderella pulled her hand away and ran. She ran out of the ballroom, down the long hallway, and down the big palace stairs. As she ran down the steps, one of her little glass slippers fell off. She wanted to stop and get it, but there was no time. She ran out the palace doors and into the dark night. Just as the clock struck the final bong, the magic ended. The golden carriage turned back into a pumpkin. The horses turned back into mice, and Cinderella was left standing in the road wearing her old dusty dress. She had to walk all the way home. The only thing she had left from the magical night was the other glass slipper, which she kept safe in her pocket.
The next morning, the prince was very sad. He missed the beautiful princess. He told his father, the king,
I will only marry the girl who can wear the glass slipper.
The prince will marry the girl who fits the slipper!
The king's guards took the slipper to every house in the kingdom. First, they tried it on the princesses, then the duchesses, but the shoe was too small for everyone. Finally, the guards arrived at Cinderella's house. The two stepsisters were very excited. They tried to force their feet into the tiny shoe. The big sister pushed and pushed.
It's too tight!
The little sister squeezed and squeezed.
My toes are curled.
Neither of them could fit. Then a quiet voice spoke from the corner.
May I try it on?
Oh, you the servant girl! Don't be silly!
But the guard looked at Cinderella. He saw she was kind and gentle.
Every girl must have a turn.
Cinderella sat down. The guard slid the glass slipper onto her foot. It slipped on easily, a perfect fit. The sisters gasped. Their mouths fell open in shock. Then Cinderella reached into her pocket and pulled out the matching glass slipper and put it on her other foot. Suddenly, the fairy godmother appeared one last time. She touched her with her wand, and her rags turned back into the beautiful ball gown. The stepsisters began to cry. They realized how mean they had been. They fell to their knees and asked for forgiveness. Cinderella, who was always kind, hugged them. She said,
I forgive you.
The guard took Cinderella to the palace. The prince was overjoyed to see her. A few days later, they were married in a beautiful wedding with flowers everywhere. Cinderella became a princess, but she never forgot what it was like to be poor. She was a kind and fair ruler, and she and the prince lived happily ever after.
Thank you so much for watching our story.
If you enjoyed it, please give this video a big thumbs up.
Share it with your friends.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more magic.
Bye!